Catharsis. I like it. I prefer those parties than the typical American parties.
Tonight we'll be smashing stuff.
Can you talk about what you think the film will play, how it will play in Mexico, especially next weekend on the anniversary?
Next weekend is the 100th anniversary of the revolution, and the film will be opening in Mexico.
I think a lot of Mexicans will be happy with the film. I think people living in Mexico now are, generally speaking, fed up with what is going on. We're suffering particularly dark times right now. And I think that to solve problems, there's a point where you have to acknowledge and fully accept failure to restart something in a better way. And I think this is a very spread out feeling in Mexico nowadays, which doesn't have to do at all, just in relationship to what was said before, with an absence of love for the country. I mean, not at all. I actually think loving yourself implies not romanticizing what you are, but actually looking forward at yourself and your problems and accepting when you're failing and whatever, and sorting out your life. So I think it will be something like that. But at the same time, I mean, films are films and nobody cares so much. I mean, they don't change the world or anything like that.
And it'll be released in America after that.
In the States?
Yes.
I don't know, to be honest. As I told you, I got paid and then I didn't know so much more about the film.
Well, for example, when everybody was making the short, was there any sort of consciousness about making this film for Mexico, concerned with the production itself?
I wouldn't know, but I don't think makers think that way. Well, at least I don't. I do what I feel, and I just expect to share it with other human beings. And you really never know whether you're going to be Mexican or something else. Something that I like about the film is that there are some foreigners in the film, of course, as there are foreigners in Mexico. There were some during the Mexican Revolution, and just as a pure coincidence, there's this talking American woman there in the film, who is also a friend, and actually it is you can make a close allegory. It's not an allegory. What do you call it? I don't know. Something related to the revolution, which was the attitude of the U.S. It was very paternalistic during the beginning of the conflict, and I mean always paternalistic. But then in 1914, when things got rough, then there was an intervention, an actual invasion of the port of Veracruz, and like a huge menace by the U.S. in regards to the conflict. So in the beginning, she's like so paternalistic, talking with this man from the land, and oh yes, and here you work hard, and oh yeah, wonderful. And then when things get rough, she's just like, they need order. You should tell them, artists, what's going on. And the children probably stumped and all that. But, just an accident.
Did you think the title is great too? Was that thought up before or after? This is my kingdom. This is our kingdom.
Yeah, my kingdom. During the film, I think, during the event, during the meal.
Like a thought that came to you as you saw it all unfold.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. I like that fact of projecting something subjective on the film, apart from the fact that I made it somehow, but something really related in the title, make it really personal in a way, you know. Like films are somehow, maybe because they're so usually based on entertainment and like products, they are very separated from the maker, and I liked that subjective part in the title, which is common in painting or literature or whatever.
Go ahead.
Did you know the other filmmakers and how were they chosen for this collaboration?
The question is, did he know the other filmmakers and how were they chosen?
I knew maybe 6 of them, and I think they were chosen by the producers in a non-democratic way, which is perfect for making something. I mean, not for citizen life, but for this kind of thing, it's perfect. So I think the idea was choosing 10 young Mexican filmmakers.
Hot.
And hot. Well, that was probably, I don't know if they were hot. But that's what it was the idea. Yeah. Yes, I really like the film of the two guys in the near the highway, the ones that throw that stone from the bridge, and I really like that piece because I mean now like speaking theoretically about what I personally think cinema is that it's not telling a story as is so often said. I think that is the worst danger for cinema, saying that. I think in cinema you tell stories, or you need to tell stories, so something much more important can be constructed around them. Like in painting, for a long time also people thought it was about telling stories, but then we all realized that it wasn't about that. And that's a great painting by Rubens, for example, about, I don't know, a classical Greek myth. It's not the myth that he's telling that is important. If it had been told by a mediocre painter, the painting wouldn't be in museums nowadays. But in cinema, still, there's this, in my opinion, this weight of thinking it's about telling stories, and in my opinion, it's about how, and it's more about what you see, what you feel, what you hear. Very similar to what happens when you are listening to music, which is not about stories either. Even like in rock songs or whatever, there's lyrics, but it's not about the lyrics. Although they're important, but it's about the music and what it makes you feel, not about understanding or whatever. That's why people that don't speak English, for example, can love Pink Floyd. They don't understand the lyrics at all, whatever. So that piece is exactly like what a Mexican nowadays could dream when he goes to sleep at night. Like something, you know, like very recently I dreamt of beheaded people. And it was horrible, and nothing made much sense. There wasn't like something linear going on. It was just beheaded people in boxes and terrible things like that. And that short film is so evocative of what a feeling, what the feelings of Mexicans can be nowadays, or probably during the revolution. That one I liked most, more than all of the rest.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were at all influenced by Lars von Trier, because you're using small cameras and sort of the experimental setting up actors and non-actors in group situations.
Not really. I appreciate some of his ideas, even though I think there's somehow a mockery, but I think there's a lot of truth behind the mockery. But no, I've always shot in film, except for this, and usually very stable and without much movement. But I thought that, because we're so used to seeing like this kind of event on video, like, or weddings, or I don't know, whatever, of that social level, I thought that would make it very real and direct, and would save me a lot of trouble, basically. Actually, there were 11 cameras, and each one of them shot about 3 tapes. So there was about 33 hours of material for 10 minutes. So all the problems I saved for the shooting, I had to solve during the editing. That was hard. I spent maybe, like, I had to spend a week to watch the material, another week to qualify it and see it again. That was a hard part, but I liked the video for this, and I really wanted it to look bad. I mean, to look like video, like with the grain exploding and all that, and it's just simple mini DV, nothing like HD or anything like that. But it was fine for this.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, but how have you liked Tucson so far?
I want to see the famous Titan missile museum today. I'm still shocked. That was very interesting. But I also saw the San Javier mission, which is really beautiful. 2 very extreme experiences today.
They're not that far apart.
Not very far apart at all. No, I have enjoyed it very much, and I'm so happy that here like this, with such a program and people loving cinema, exists in this place.
One more question.
What's next?
I would like to know. I really don't know exactly. I really want to make a film now, but I have to tell you that I had children recently, and that has been like a total forced break from making films. But I think I'm going to make a very personal film in the sense of like making something about souvenirs and just feelings and ideas, and something very disconnected. I hope I can in regards to storyline and all that sort of thing. I would love to one day be able to make a film that has really no storyline, but can be not experienced as experimental or boring or anything like that. But something that could be, that you could follow all the way through, like very happily and very connected, but without having the dramatic elements in it. I don't know if one day I will achieve that.
Well, thank you for coming. We're incredibly lucky to have this type of filmmaker.